Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Esoteric Ebb. Yes, we're standing in front of the happy snail. I distinctly remember this. That's about all I remember, because we never went up the stairs. Oh, there's a path over here as well. Uh-oh. Does my journal have a map in it yet? Ah. I'm tentative no. There's a tentative no. No, my map. There's no map. Let's go up first. Could detect it. Detect secrets. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. What are the odds we die in the first 10 minutes of the stream? Path of Exile? This is not Path of Exile. I do like Path of Exile though. I still want to play the second one, but I don't own it. I'm waiting for it to become free to play. Because I'm cheap. There's no way that this light is somehow related to these things on the floor. That's my own light. Haha! I do not trust these symbols. Oh god. That's a snail fighting a dragon? A snail door that seems eerie. Eerie, you say? The southern iron door. You approach an iron door. This one bears a symbol of chain with a comically crude little devil drawing underneath. Intricate, precise, almost beautiful in its cruelty. Huh? I don't like this one. It's wrong. There is a devil inside. An ancient evil. I can use comprehend languages here to read the seal, I guess. Speak to the door. Hello? Hello? Is anybody in there? I'm gonna comprehend languages. Let's see if this helps. Cast the spell. Then, comprehensible words emerge from the chatter of a foreign tongue. Waiting so long. Can you understand me now? Perfect clarity. Yes. Good. Now, listen. I am a prisoner here, not by the Tulin cattle, but by the mad wizard who roams this cursed place. He, by some feat of my own idiocy, managed to trick me into this cursed cell. By now, my soul has all but burned into the void inside, so please, rip the seal and kill me. I would owe you quite a great deal if you did. This seems like a trap. Sure are talking a lot. I have been here for a long time, stranger. Indulge me. What was that about a mad wizard? A man of the house Hagginshags. He went mad years ago, taken by the beyond. Surely, by now. I came to these ruins via the undercoast, sea, all to avoid you humans above. Yet the trove he promised me was but a ruse. No offense, but I'm not one to ever put my hope in a human again. None taken? I hate humans. All offense. You can't say that about us. I wouldn't trust a devil either. What makes you so sure I'm a devil? You're not? No, I am. It might be more obvious than I imagined, even with my soul in this iron gate. Wait. Wait, he's not behind the gate. He is the gate. Huh. Who are you? I am a soldier. Hiding something. Convince him to tell you more about his very rupturing backstory. Nice. Just go for the leverage. Leverage? Yeah, but smooth. Hey, so I want to make sure who you are before I let you out. If you're someone interesting, I might be more likely to rip the seal. The voice is silent for a while, until it eventually lets out a groan. Fine, I can see your intrigue. I will tell you, but it's not as interesting as you could imagine. Oh? I am Lesionas, a pike holder. It is akin to a sergeant, in your terms. I was in Gregorian's initial invasion. The initial invasion? Of yore, yes. I fought throughout each of the invasions, or as you call it, the Gate War, and I never fell through hundreds of years of constant battle. I lived through his fall. His generals all have been ruined or destroyed over the millennia. If you believe the Blood City Council, however, I lived. I lived through it all. And now I'm here, stuck in this foul, damned, quite annoying iron gate. Entirely due to my own fault. That mad wizard? And the trove? Indeed. Since the Coast War ended, that messy brawl, I have been following rumours of various artifacts stolen by your human arcanists. Those artifacts were hidden, scattered, sometimes handed down to these freestriders, sometimes buried in hidden troves. One such trove is rumoured to be found in the ruins of Tulin Cattle, where your city of Norvik now stands. So I snuck in, from the earth, to find my contact. This Haggin Shags. The gate war, and he's in a gate. Yeah, you just get two gates and you just roll them at each other, and whoever wins the gate war. A mistake, of course, but my hubris caused me to underestimate the little man. That, along with some unluck on my part, caused me to get stuck here. For now, I would be happy to lose my physical body and be reborn in Blood Bay City. Please, rip the seal. If we ever meet again, I promise I am in your debt, human. Oh, I don't see why not. He doesn't seem that worse than your average top rank on this part of the coast. I have a question. How does Snell understand being said? I had to cast Comprehend Languages on myself. Does Snell just naturally understand this game? What do you want? Freedom? Break the seal. Let my spirit fly. I will return to Gregorian's corpse as I should have done years ago. Honest, at least. You want to return to a corpse? Does it sound insane to you? A little? I see. I've decided what to do. Oh. Will you kill me, human? No. It's like hanging up the phone. I mean, oh, fuck it. Thank you. The gratitude is actually genuine. What a lovely guy. Break the seal. Set me free. You grab the paper. It tears easily. Too easily. The seal shatters. Uh-oh. Not flame, not smoke. It's spirit. A devil's essence. It rushes past you. Toward Blood City Bay. Toward Ugorian's corpse. Into your mind. Uh-oh. Don't let it in. I will shield my mind. There is no way it will win. Oh, that was closer than it had any right to be. Uh-oh. The spirit passes. But it doesn't take hold. Wonderful. Thank you, human. Then you hear a faint, cackling laugh. Whisper. Fading. Fading into nothing. Well, that's fucking ominous. The door now stands cold. Empty. The devil. Gone. Flying across the coast to Blood City Bay to regenerate. I didn't just doom someone, did I? Schnell steps up and taps you on the back. I wouldn't worry about it. Now, can we go? Yeah, sure. Alright. Sure, it's fine. Blood City Bay? Nobody bloody likes Blood City Bay anyway. This is where it's like the end credits. They'll do like a story summary and then it'll just be caused the doom. I'll be like, oh. Ah. Save. Interact with this door, I guess. Another snail door. You approach the iron door. The eastern iron door. On it, a paper carrying a symbol. Like a flame. Is it just me, or is that door a bit hot? The air almost shimmers. Your goblin companion takes a step away from it. Faint sound like a whisper. A tunnel. Mortal! Huh? Make an audibly confused cleric sound. I wish for you to know my peril. I am Galbatar, the one of the pearled flame. I have been trapped here for many eras. As the top Efreeti of the Crimson Court, I would go to heavens and hells to serve you, if you only destroy the seal which holds me here. Again? I feel like I'm facilitating an ancient, like, jailbreak. The snails just locked all these incredibly bad demons up. And I'm just running through, ripping seals like lolly 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 la. Use the empty Efreeti bottle on the door. I forgot I had that. What do you want? Silence. Then you will free me. Heat washes over you. Why should I? Because I demand it. Entitled creature. The Efreeti composes itself. You must listen. I have power to grant you more than anything else of that mystical nature ever could. And that's really vague. True words are always vague. Break the seal, free me, then I shall grant you a great service. I'm gonna use the bottle, because... You pull out the colourful bottle. Huh? An Efreeti bottle. Ancient containment. Currently empty. The voice panics. You hold up the bottle's mouth towards the door. Bind. No, no, what are you doing? The seal shatters. But instead of freedom... No, curse you, no! The elemental moved, ending up in the bottle. The bottle grows hot in your hands. Then quiet. The door is cold. Empty. Right, so that's what that thing was. Brutal. Ah! The seal is gone. The door is dead. You want it, Schnell? I'm okay. You hang on to that. He leans in towards the bottle and says, I want it on the record that I am not involved with this kidnapping scheme. Shake the bottle. Don't. Okay. So, I've got a genie in a bottle now? Lean in to listen. I am quite mad at you. But yes, you've got me, the bottle says in a teeny tiny voice. Alas, I'll be stuck here for another decade, which is numerically better than another millennium in a snail prison. Decade. Whoever made this shitty bottle put it in as a rule, most likely to make whoever seals a creature inside more likely to hide it in a trove of some sort. I'm going to sit here for 10 years, then the next person to rub it's going to get me as a great advisor and servant for a bit, then I'm heading straight back to Akul. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a nap. Wake me up if you still own me next decade. The voice goes silent. I have to wait 10 years before I can use the genie in the bottle? What kind of bullshit is that? Oh, it wasn't as bad as I assumed. I mean, considering the flames. Alright, cool. I mean, honestly, that went about as well as you'd expect. Do I actually have that as an item? Yeah, there it is. Wow, +1 intelligence, wisdom, and a constitution? Good god damn. The previously smelly but empty bottle now houses the Ifriti you found in the old prison. The powerful elemental spirit heats up the bottle. It's comfortable to hold. In 10 years, the bottle will be openable. You probably have a deep urge to hide it in a nice, trap-guarded trove before then. It's actually surprisingly useful. Advantage against elementals is a little bit worrying. What I'd replace it with? Like, the problem I have is, like, Meek is the thing that I would love to replace, but that guy gives me +1 on every goddamn roll ever. So it's really hard to justify replacing Meek. I think we'll just keep it in our back pocket for now. I'm going to save again. I don't know why, but I don't trust this place. Think about it being an old prison. I kind of forgot that it was called Old Prison. That probably should have given the game away a little bit, shouldn't it? Is that rabbits riding snails? That's a snail. An instrument. But my god, that is... Huh? Like some type of tourney. Fun. It was the Drakekin who first broke the beasts of yore. I'm getting a real impression, don't fuck with the snails. Oh, I can't go that way. I mean, maybe releasing him did? Who knows? I got a genie in a bottle. The entertainment value is worth far more than any monetary value. That just lead me... Does that lead me back? Oh, God. I don't want to run around to the other side of this room. Oh, there's another way. It's Caesar! Sic semper tyrannis. Oh, to hear what strange bardic nonsense these snails cooked up. Secret? Right. Yeah, if only. Like, they learnt from that lesson, didn't they? They all looked at Caesar and were like, yeah, not doing that again. What's this? Excuse me. There's something in the water. You approach the edge, and terrors arise. Uh-oh. 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 Everglad, him in the pipes, is a fantastic name for a monster. Hello, Brian. Hello, Wrong. Ragan? Isn't that my actual name? How do you know my name? Your doom. Jump into its maw now. You hear hyperventilation coming out of the goblin. Can you truly stand against a creature of the void? No, no chance in any hells. Pray and kneel. Everything is shaking. Abomination! We're going to try and calm down. Try. Uh-oh. Oh. You stand before the maw. Hold in your guts and let your heart pump its blood. You face the vast darkness of empty space in those abominable eyes. Far you have delved, it says. I am happy to greet you. The aberration's voice reverberates against the cold, wet walls of the sewer chamber. Naru Supir. I am enamored, impressed, lucky to witness. 1,000 eyes, each focused on you. This is something evil. This is indeed a creature of the far realm. A trifler, yet larger than any specimen you've ever read about. Be wary. Now speak. I can kneel? That was what the strength wanted us to do. I got some questions for you. Knowledge is a commodity. Knowledge is my trade. I am a simple merchant. Trade, Ran. Trade with me. Clear your throat and ask the monster. I have to pay to ask questions? Each thought carries cost. I am generous. Cheap thoughts I give freely. Expensive ones will require sacrifice. You can have Snell. This guy is clearly aware of how incredibly ominous he's being. He is very much messing with you. This thing won't kill me. It does not look like it. Not now. You okay, Schnell? He nods without taking his eyes off the horrific aberration. Yeah. Takes a breath after holding it for a while. Don't fuck this up, please. Do you have a license for this pool? Oh, come on! What are you? I am the other, which is beyond. Not the big other that you keep close to your chest. The small other, that is I. What you find yourself longing for in the dark. What the fuck is he talking about? Why are you just standing here? Why is the world built to contain things like this? Run, run, run. I cannot run. I need to speak. Oh, gods. It's some kind of aberration order thing, isn't it? This day just keeps getting worse. What is this place? Stones laid by snail. This was their prison, a complex to throw the unwanted and wicked for centuries. Then they burned. Millennia pass. Dwarves repurposed it, a cistern. Each pipe spread to voices, thoughts, talks and whispers. I love it. A deep growl causes the ground to near quake. Your guts press against your lower throat. Do you have a license for this pool? The moor widens slightly for a few painfully long seconds after you finish your question. I have never been asked that question. I'll be honest, I don't even know what's going on. You think I know what's going on? It's important to check with the local government for stuff like this. It lets out a low, chuckling growl, along with the answer, yes, Ron. To answer, I bought a delve and prospecting license under my legal name in 501 AE. Oh, actually? Yes, the paperwork is archived if you require it. I can get it prepared within 5 to 7 office days. It's fine. I just wanted to check. Consider it checked. So yes, to answer the question of whether he had a license for this pool, he does in fact have a delving license. Yep. Are you the one called Everglad? Yes. That is the name I adopted. The original title of my claim was considered too difficult. When I signed my first warlock servant, we agreed upon a more modern name. Everglad, we chose. It is appropriate. It shows my everlasting happiness. The beast's elongated maw appears to widen even further. Wait, warlocks? So your original name was just too incomprehensible for us mortals to use, I presume? No. Oh. It was just hard to pronounce. Ho ho ho. I am laughing. I see. You are, and you will. So, warlocks. Yes, you had run-ins with my former servant. The girl. Wait a minute, so you sent her to kill me? Yes. A big misunderstanding. Freya did not perform as to her promise level. We went over it many times. It was not a sudden decision, I assure you. I made sure to go through the appropriate steps. I offered training, magical enhancements, hex incantations, and even free knowledge. None of it was enough to get her the appropriate performance. Thus, we had ended up on having to cut the patronage short. Very unfortunate. It is not often my warlocks end their service in anything other than death. He clacks his his massive teeth together. I go through one servant at a time, so the position is now open. Oh, he's going to invite me to become his next warlock. I do like warlocks. Like, given a choice of classes in D&D, I do like warlocks. I prefer less demonic looking patrons. Just saying. Carrick? The goblin looks worried. I would ask your goblin friend. However, I sense hesitation for outsourcing on his end. Uh-huh. You sent your warlock to kill me, and then you offer me their job. Your servant? Well, it is something to be considered. Your performance, after all, is very admirable. Can I think about it? Of course. We can discuss it later. I do not wish to push you into anything. I offer nothing but the best of terms as a patron of the dark. Could be cool. By the gods, do not. You haven't explained why you tried to kill me. Is correct. Why did you try to kill me? Such knowledge comes at a price. The monster's eyes focus on you. There are many things I know. Many things I know you want to know. My trade works as such. You tell me a secret which I do not know, and I then grant you access to knowledge beyond yourself. A fair exchange. Free trade. You sure you're not a free strider? Not quite, no. Though I admire their propensity for intrigue. The tentacles writhe around the cistern. It goes like this. You hand me a secret. I value its depth. I grant you knowledge in return. A fair trade is offered, I assure you. I think I have a choice to debate the rules here, do I? No, Ron. The monster then stares at you, waiting to be fed a secret from the crevices of your mind. Do you think I should tell him the secret about how everyone called us Apple Boy? I've never played a barbarian in Dungeons and Dragons. It's not really my style. I'm definitely more wizard, witch, or warlock. I'm definitely the magic side of D&D rather than the hit things with big sticks side of D&D. There's a lot of options here. I need your help entering the Pillar of Yore. What secrets could I possibly give this thing? Let's go with that one first. That is a question you know well the answer to. Can't you just make something up? How's this guy gonna know the difference? The creature will know. What you want here is just for him to tell you why he was trying to kill you, right? That's the main secret, yes. However, do you have what it takes to actually share a deep part of yourself with this abomination? Good God. So we have a charisma check, 17, an intelligence check, come up with an argument as to why the information about him trying to kill you isn't worthy of a secret. Or constitution's doing godlike. Muster up the courage to tell him one of your deepest secret, the source of all your insecurity and shame. It's going to be my small penis, isn't it? I know how this game goes. Let's... I mean, technically, we got one more charisma than we do intelligence here on the roll. Let's make up a fake! Hey! Right. Clear your throat, shoulders back, head held high. It's time to lie. What kind of lie? The only type that works. The sorta true one. I have a secret to trade. Oh yes, do tell. Hit him hard. Not true. It should be about work, some industry secret that's kind of true. You know, embellished. Just say... The Towers has a secret registry of non-wizards, people who have encountered esoteric events. Oh, I have not heard of such a list. Why is it interesting? Improvise! There's almost no one who encounters only one event, despite their rarity. Oh, so it is shown that certain people hold esoteric attunement on their own. Potential sorcerers, perhaps? This is very interesting. Thank you for this knowledge. Now, you wish to hear why. Yes, why you sent your warlock to kill me. It lets out a grumble and squints the many eyes. Let me tell you about the Blood Tongue Prophecy. Sounds ominous. A night, dark as ink, some years past. A young scribe is overcome with maddening vision. On the morrow, the writing is recovered and kept secret by the council. Yet the whispers of its content reached me not less. I will not share its contents in full, as that is an all too valuable secret. But I shall share you this one passage. Scent of Akul, midst flame amiss. Loyal death upon the day of suffrage, doomed. Laid at the feet of necrocratic doom. 1,000 clamours of iron's wrath, all wrought in sunder's trove beneath stone. There time itself as witness standeth mute, first by west, south, east, then north. I feel like we should probably remember that. I feel like that's going to be important. An esoteric era marked forth. Sounds like divine era scripture. Cool leaves. Cool leaves bring death on election day? Yes. He opens his maw and clicks his fangs together. It is, as unlikely as it appears, confirmed to be a truthful prophecy. Not yet come to pass fully, of course, as we are in fact not in an esoteric era born true. Since the ebb still lingers. So what does this have to do with you trying to kill me? I wish the ebb to end. I saw in this prophecy my part to play. I saw the truth I could create. To bring about this fire to the legislative... Oh god. The legislative... I can't say it. I can't say the word. Legislative... No. I'm tripping up. One of those really irritating words where there's a noise in the middle that's really irritatingly difficult for me to say. And I'm saying it fine in my head. Legislative? No. Legislative? Legislative? Mass? Close enough. A plot brought by the Mender's followers, the Ilum Elves. I choose to support a player in this game of intrigue. The one who seeks. You got struck by a god? The internet has been taken from you for slander. This rogue spellcaster you hunt. You know who I'm after? Of course, I know most things to know. Tell me? He lets out a growl. You demand with such vigor. That is good. However, there is no secret you could give that could be a valid exchange for me. Do not worry. We'll find out in time. So you tried to kill me to stop me from finding this rogue spellcaster of yours. His tentacles snap around the cistern. Prayer was to destroy this government cleric sent to investigate, to make sure the prophecy was given the space it needs to breathe. There was no doubt in my mind of this plan of action. Until you stepped into my chamber here, I see more than truth in you. It is obvious. I backed the wrong guy. Now I will look upon you instead. Bran. Thanks. You are welcome. Bring me my esoteric era, Bran. I am fully convinced you will. He is not interested in debate here. He's not even interested in your opinion. This guy literally just wants to watch you do whatever it is you're going to do. An aberration obsessed with fate. This will surely haunt you. What if I told you a secret about myself? A personal secret? I can reveal that I am responsible for my father's death. Reveal a childhood trauma. I once ate an entire bucket of apples to make the other kids think I was cool. Oh my god, we can tell him about Apple Boy. Or reveal how you found out your esoteric talent. In a classroom once. I want to do the whole Apple Boy thing. That is rather sad. An entire bucket? I consider it quite cool, in fact. The monster closes his many eyes. Growls. Yes. That I did not know. Hello, Mr. Tree. Let me share knowledge in return. You might have heard whispers of another creeping beneath your city. One hoarding knowledge not much unlike myself. A rival, you might say. That fool refuses to do business. I'm afraid, but one of my favorite secrets is the tale of his past. The Nothic, hiding under Norvik, the last of the Haggenshags. Nothic. An infamous aberration type creature. It is said to be created when a wizard falls too deep into the rabbit hole of forbidden knowledge. As in, the wizard becomes the creature. Not a pretty sight. Allegedly. The Arcanist? He lets out another growl. The Haggenshags. A house of arcanists, masters of alchemical productions, as well as necromancy. These, if you excuse my tongue, wannabe warlocks, were destroyed a long time ago. Unlike certain other houses, they did not survive the fall. Publicly. There's a Haggenshags Nothic under the city? Imvrak. His lair moves along the esoteric shuffles beneath, having mastered their chaos a long time ago. A truly mad genius. He arrived in the city along the first settlers, you see, hiding among them. Back then, he was human, set to turn the Tulin ruins to his own personal flying fortress. Yet he gained more knowledge than he bargained for in the halls and tunnels. The esoteric madness brought him into the darkness. His petition to Earth was the only showing he did before disappearing permanently from human life. A petition rejected. In his gravity-flip tower, the Nothic plots and plans. What's he plotting? His empire, of course. Not that it will ever come to pass. A lone wizard in a time of ebb, not even a party make, let alone a kingdom. Yet he stalks the halls, hoarding books, stealing artifacts. The most important secret here is one none in this city knows, even those aware of that skulking Nothic below. He is building something, Nauru. Decades of planning, all in secret. What's he building? That I do not know. Well, that was a bit anticlimactic. Sorry you are disappointed. But see it as a tip. In the future, if you ever learn more about this Haggin Shags, come back and share with me. You will be rewarded. You think another remnant of the Arcanists hides in these tunnels? You must seek him out once the election is over. You could learn much from one of the arcane era. I mean, I could just go through all of these, but I worry that they're all going to have some sort of price. So I'm trying to work out which one is more useful to me. If I sign your contract, what boons can you offer me? Becoming my next warlock has one major boon, of course. Knowledge. Isn't it illegal to serve aberrations? Somewhat. Wait. Actually? In Norvikian code, there are some clauses about fiendish cults, as well as far realm creatures. So sadly, yes, I am an illegal entity. How did you get the paperwork for your delve? If you are an illegal entity, what kind of loophole is this? Even speaking to me without reporting it is illegal. Of course, if you were to report my existence, I can guarantee you it would not end well for you. Got it. Let's not piss off the otherworldly creature. Good. If you wish to not work with me, I suggest you simply stay quiet and live your life as normal. Nothing bad will happen in that case. You should not mess with this thing. He is clear about it at least. If only you were stronger. The only choice now is either to bend or to leave. Oh, we got rid of all the other options? Oh wait, no, this is still the other question. Never mind. So, no warlock magic powers? Of course, in time. I will not promise you pure power. That is very much a misleading thing to do. You might be suitable for far realm magic. You might not. I am most likely very suitable for any type of magic. Perhaps, but I will not know until the contract is signed. So I will not promise anything I cannot deliver. What would I have to do for you? Oh, nothing that should interfere with your life or goals. Sometimes I might ask for some minor tasks to be completed. Nothing straight away. Kind of tasks. Eavesdropping in places I do not have access. Delivering messages to important people. Handling artifacts times. Minor gigs, as they say. So I don't get Eldritch Blast. Yeah, this is a really important thing. Indeed. Hope I explained it well. If you sign my contract, it would be because you wish to serve, not because you wish to be granted boons. Well, but I want the boons. Why else would I sign a contract with a... I need help entering the Pillar of Yore. Interesting. That must mean you know where your little hunt is going to end. Through the crack of Yore's realm. The wording crack of Yore does not sound as ominous as he thinks it does. Yeah, Mr. Moonwatch told me he saw someone escaping the explosion and heading inside the pillar. Oh, the merchant saw the truth. More widens. The shut gate can be passed. Yes. That, I am afraid, I can only assist with if you sign my contract. I do not share such knowledge with anyone unaffiliated with darkness. Of course, I would not suggest signing my contract simply to gain this knowledge. You should only sign if you truly wish to serve. My assistance in this matter would simply be a bonus. He's got away with words. This is the way you persuade someone when you've got all the cards. Have you seen a paladin down here? Someone by the name of Lord Gorm. Ah, you ask of the last paladin of your faded god. So you've heard of him? Your Lord Gorm. This missing paladin. You have already found his stash in the city below. That is all you will find upon this material realm. That's pretty ominous. Yes, but I cannot say more. The monster smiles, as always. Are you illegally influencing the election? No. Okay, then what are you voting in the election? Nothing. Well, I'm voting for the... I know what you are voting for, Naru. You do? I am listening a lot. However, it sounds as if you will stay out of politics entirely with your smart apolitical stance. Oh, yes. Oh. Hello, show. Thank you very much for the subscription. We found an eldritch creature, but other than that, you haven't really missed much. At least, if I were to take your spoken word for it. I feel like this was supposed to be him, but it's kind of a bit weird then. Yes, it is true. Only you know what you intend to write down on that paper. So I retract my statement. I have heard what you have said, not what you truly believe. Are you legally influencing the election? No, not that either. I've played my part. Unolatia Manathern. Fate cannot sway. What? You hear the growl coming deeper this time. You humans. The humans. They are played not by me. The toxin of ideology seeps more thoroughly through their veins. It is formed slowly, then quickly, then it subsumes an invisible form. You think they're bad for us? Ideologies? Ideas are infectious. They creep from minds, creating memes with poisonous power. That's just a meme of a Weedle. If I had such control, we would be one, you and I. But alas, it is beyond even my reach. Perhaps through indulging in your secrets, I too am a puppet of your collective dream. The idea makes me incendiary, explosive. Is he ranting? Isn't this exactly what you are doing? Controlling people with information? It growls. To some sense. Yes. This is all simply my frustration against sentience itself, I suppose. However, simply by being aware of a problem, one can envision and unveil new powers of thought, including the ability to view past the illusion of choice. Not too dissimilar from yours viewing, I imagine, to watch the strings of fate collide and fray across the eras. Yours viewing? Yes, the ability to view like him beyond the third dimension. You keep on thinking, Nauru, as will I. The time of ours will arrive with thunder and grim tidings one day. Once we both understand why and how these thoughts are controlling us. It is the start of the esoteric era. You do not forget, Naru. The gates shall rebuild. What exactly does this mean? I'm confused. Excuse me. The words I use have to have the exact meaning I choose to grant them. No more, no less. We will see once the blood is proven. You see his grin go wider than ever before. Thank you for the knowledge, Ran. What did you give him? You mostly just listened, but hey. Thank you for your time. I don't want to sign a contract just yet. This is a backup plan if I somehow can't find a way into the pillar. You are welcome, Ran. You know, honestly, what a lovely fella. So, we came from here. There's this path here. I think this is just going to wheedle back round. This is going to be the main chamber. Yeah, so this is the main chamber. I feel like 2 of these lights are on. I swear these lights weren't on before. Were they on before? Is it because I freed 2 prisoners? Is there another 2 gates? I guess I'll find out. Wait, wasn't there a way down here? Yeah, down this way. Where does this go? Oh. Oh my god, it's the map out of Dark Souls 2. Souls Pass. Earthsport. Yuzkva. Corvinitorum? The fortress was still there 1,000 years ago, eh? The Ilum Forest. Reeds! Today, this is cursed land. Your homeland? The various dragon thrones of old Dimenor? Yours point. Also, this is Ascan. This is what it looks like. The world. What's with the bump in the middle? Apparently this is interactable. I'm gonna save. I'm not paranoid. You're paranoid. The coast. Oh, the Chamber of Realms. What a lovely name. You step out onto the little lines. It's faintly lit. The chamber collapsed. Rubble strewn across its surface. What you see is a slice, 1/8 of a greater whole. It's a map. The Scani, yes. Damn. However, it is old. Mountains and rivers alone do not align with any modern day interpretation. Despite that, the shape of the coastline and, of course, the ever-standing fortress of Verdun show it clearly. This is Ascani during the era of the snail folk. You seeing this shit? I sure am. It's a map, right? You are correct, my goblin friend. It gives you an uncomfortable look. Careful, don't be so mushy. Must be thousands of years old. Look at the little snail people on it. Oh yeah. Right, the little snail people. Look at the dot on the coast. Your home, thousands of years in the past. This was its first founding by these snails. The little images of these beasts of yore show them stretched far inland, having colonies along the river. Not too unlike your own people's efforts. Look along the river Torna. They appear to have colonies even as far as Toll's Pass, even further than Earthport. Though, curiously, the map does not align with your common knowledge. No, it does not. The endless wastes do not allow anything to be built this far inland. If this map depicts everything until the wastes begins, then there was less wastes during the Fade era. This is commonly assumed when looking at other early mapping attempts. Good to see it confirmed. So wait, the wastes are spreading? That seems like a bit of a problem. Let's look at Reed's Old Diminor. Across the border, on the mostly covered in rubble band to your left, see a very different visual. Is commonly depicted today. For today, most of Western Reeds is ruined, cursed. Where the curse lands lay today, here you see a fertile crescent. Is that a frog? It appears so. How wonderful. Ah, damn it. While on the coast, you see several locations that do not align with any modern locations. The Draconic Civil War surely reshaped most of this as your former overlords fell. The one dot that does align is a tiny one placed in the centre of the bay. The Redison location for the Pillar of Yore. It has stood there since the Gate War, so it makes sense the snails would want to point it out clearly. They did worship Yore in the end. Are these the pillars, the little dots? Oh, that wouldn't make sense because they're a bit different sizes. So I guess they're just locations. And it also seems the rest of the geography in this depiction of Old Diminor does not align with any modern visuals either. Yes, the Arcanists geo-shaped most of it to create more fertile farmland and defensive positions. Look at Divini Torum. Most of it is covered in fallen rocks. The one thing you see is like some feathers. Like Drumner? Not really. Drumner's more of a Yamin bird from what you remember. Divini Torum was filled with birds all throughout the Fade era, from what you remember. It's like their thing. Loxori and birds. Then the Celestials settled more seriously over the course of the next couple of 100 years. The Laraxi. Elephant folk, known for the massive size and ability to keep growing their entire lives. As part Celestials, most of them live in Divini Torum and although some are known to migrate peacefully into the valleys of Uxkhar, peaks from their Kirikut homeland. The dwarves genuinely have a very good relationship with them. And with settled, well, that's the colonialism, imperialism version of it. They're still there today, so they surely did something right. Look at the lion in modern day. Vzkar? I still don't know how to say this. Vice-Kar? It's probably Vice-Kar, isn't it? You see lots of smaller symbols representing the lion folk of Ascani across the inner parts of the map. You always acknowledge the elephant. There is some evidence pointing towards Ascani being a temperate band during the early Fade era. The visuals here, along with the inland lions, would suggest something similar. Tribal catfolk ruled large parts of Ascani till the early Divine era. Their claw marks are evident over your previous city. We can look at the dragons. 3 of them can be seen. A red, a green, and a black. I see 4. Unless that's... oh no, that's in the sea, so maybe that's not a dragon. Wait. Green is down here. Red? That's red, right? They look very similar colour-wise, so I don't actually know if... Group outside is already drunk and started yelling. I've had people walk past my window, just absolutely... I don't know if there's something happening, but a lot of people celebrating around here as well. Let's look at the red dragon. Isuth, the red dragon of Ascan. The scourge of the coast, the largest of all known dragons throughout Jaws history. Luckily, he was slain long ago, thanks to strength. The green dragon? Oh my god. Tisseri Ladanoa, the great green dragon. She was the mother of most, they say. She who birthed the coastal roods. While a tyrant, like all her kin, she is known for her lighter touch, bond with man. When Dug Dulin Dim played her, it ushered in freedom for all of mankind. Her visage upon the map indicates her domain, what is today the Ilum Forest. Black Dragon? Umbra Mixus, the all-wise Black Dragon, guardian of the bay. He was known as the most magically adept dragon in the coast. His esoteric cache in Silver Slove still not been found, and is to this day a popular target for adventurers in feeds. Some dragons are missing. Belgenitor, the Blue Thunder, and the Mad Drake, Alganoth, of course. Those are the big 5 who fought during the Draconic Civil War, the ones all humans are taught to despise. I don't hate the dragons, they brought my people to this lovely world. I hate the dragons, they enslaved my people. I don't think about dragons. As an apolitical being, I don't think about dragons. Good. They are but relics of a bygone era. Look at yours ocean. A cool depiction of a perch and a nice whirlwind pool at the top. Just the same as they do today. Good thing the snails were as confounded by that whole mystery as we are today. You know, you could get yourself real rich by figuring out that whole thing one day. Mystery? Yeah, the mystery behind yours point. It was like the place where that big whale first entered, through the first of yours gates, or whatever. But no one who ever tries to sail directly seaward ever returns. Real spooky. But there have been reports of massive treasures being found on the islands located deep inside that stormy part of the ocean. So if you ever want to become an explorer, pirate, sailor, that's where to aim for the biggest payout. I could become a pirate. Just think about it, okay? The world is your oyster. Crack it open at your leisure. Yar. I do like money. I think I'd make a fantastic pirate. I could get one of those hats. Right, so we have here This way. Oh god, it's another door. Okay, so I think there might be two doors, another two doors, and if I do something here, it's going to light up the stones in the opening area. That's a lot of seals. A very creepy round snail door. You approach the ominous door. The tunnel lay silent. Only your breath heard. Placed across the surface, you see pieces of paper covered in ancient writing. Seals. They keep the spirit inside stable. Oh, this is freaking me out. That piece of paper looks very easy to rip. This area is an ancient prison of the Tulin cattle. I feel like I could have done with this before I just randomly walked up to the devil door and let him out. I feel like this is the tutorial door. I forgot I was in a prison when I first came here. These are cells. Cells of the soul. An iron door. Let's look around the crevices of the door, underneath, along the side. You press your head against the ground, against the walls. See clearly. This door does not lead anywhere. It is not tightly sealed, nor is it very fastened against the end of the tunnel. It is simply an iron door sat upright against the wall. Oh, that's actually freaky. Feels cursed, at minimum. Look at the symbols. You lean in, checking them closely. You do not know this script. However, it is most likely some type of seal. Most likely in the snail folks' lost tongue. Hello? A voice echoes down the tunnel. Then, after several seconds, you hear... There is someone here. Light voice dances in the air. I'm the cleric. Who are you? There is silence for a while longer. There is nothing left to prove. You are the cleric. It's been long. I see naught. I feel naught. Yet you I hear. You beyond the door. I have a favour to ask you. Oh, why not? The voice is silent for a few seconds longer. The suspense is great. I'm sure it'll just... Please, save my husband. Oh. You catch a glimpse of the goblin giving you a worried expression. I know not who you are. I do not speak your tongue. The strings grant me these few words. He broke his soul into paper. He made a grave mistake, but this punishment is beyond cruel. They wanted him to see the end of the world, to lose everything. My love, my foolish, petty, wonderful husband. Can't I get you out of here? We'll help. Don't worry. My fate is written. The voice fades beyond the door. Lady, we'll get you out of there. You really tugged at his heartstrings. Please break him out. Break the paper, speak his name. Oh god, this sounds like a trap. Break the seal, speak the name. Save my Isk Urum. The pleading voice stops. Lady? Hello? Nothing. Jeez. Now it's something else. I think I understand. She needs your help. Oh, piss off, Strength. But are you the right one to do anything here? Yeah, let's look into this. Fair sight. Emotions from an instrument of death. As your fingers touch the paper, the symbol upon its surface lights up, just for a split second. Then, all at once, your fingers drag through it. The paper crumbles into bright white ash. Nothing happens with the core. Chanel looks at the dissolving dust. To you. I hope you know what you're doing. Always, Chanel, always. Sure, I believe you. Right, okay, sweet. Let's go see if that lit up one of the stones. Genuinely curious if that's actually what's happening. I did. Did. So that means we need to find one more door. No way that's like a portal to the underworld or something. It's got lights on it. There's no way that it can't be cool. Little did I know, it's actually just like a security system or something. Oh look, there's the other door. We save again. An iron snail-like door. You approach the round door. Upon the surface, a single piece of paper clings to the metal. This one, a crude drawing showing 3 creatures: a lion, a goat, and a snake. It'd be nice to have a language that just shows pictures of what you're talking about. I like the goat. You also notice a crack in the door. Small, found in between several large pieces of shells. Apparently I can use speak with animals. The sound of the primal spell rings down the tunnel. Then, a sound. Low, rumbling. Who speaks beyond? The voices overlap. Discordant. Oh, do you reckon it's the 3 creatures? Each one is a different creature. Animal sounds mixed with something almost human. Oh, that's not good. You can't hear it. Well, you can't understand it. I suppose you can hear the noises, right? Because when we spoke to the griffin, he was like, no, I couldn't understand a word the griffin was saying. He was just making noises. And you were making griffin noises. I'm the cleric. Who are you? Someone speaks. Someone hears. What are you? We are one. We are many. The lion's voice rises. If there is a voice, then there is an exit. The snake's voice hisses. If the exit exists, then we can escape. The goat's voice barks. If we can escape, then we are no more. What do you mean? It does not answer, then... In an instant, the voices disappear. A strange light emanates from the seal on the door. The paper crumbles into ash. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Nothing happens with the door. It remains shut. Well, that was awful. Is that the wrong choice, mate? Let's go see if all 4 lights are turned on. They are. All the crystals are glowing. I'm going to save because this might be horrible. It might teleport me in one of the frickin' doors or something. You approach the magic circle. Each of the 4 stones around it glowing. The goblin looks around. Oh, it looks clear, I think. The words are ancient, but you understand them. Speak the lost name at the end of the world. Iskurum. It is broken. The seal. It is unleashed. Uh-oh. Oh, God. I'm sure this is fine. Let's watch the light rapidly expand. Snail? The snail. Schnell takes a few more steps back. Uh-huh. You stuck? Oh! You then watch as this snail folk of a bygone era slams into the ground. Look at his little face. I'm gonna stare at it. You watch the creature shake and snivel, its flabby skin moving about freely, its glistening surface reflecting the light. That staff. It holds immense power. Look at the shell. It is covered in trinkets, books, vials, and all manner of esotericals. There is no doubt. This is a wizard of the highest degree. His staff? He gives off a faint glow in the dark of the temple. A Gate-era artifact. A magic staff befitting for a wizard such as yourself. Holy shit, that stick would go for a fortune on the market. Could you imagine? Pristine staff of great power left in stasis for millennia? What a payday. I do like money. Approach the strange snail. We save again. They shine. I couldn't. Normally when we do that, it comes up with a checking the character sheet, but he doesn't have a character sheet. What's in his pockets? I know. A piece of bracken born through centuries of gate war fighting. This indestructible item has seen the early days of this world, and has now been brought to this modern alien era. I mean, +2 intelligence. The problem is, I'd use that to replace my ring of spell storing, and I think that's actually better. That's an extra 5 casts of any spell. Oh, it's a weapon, of course, dum-dum. Oh, wait, what's my current dagger do? Oh, man, dagger does 3 dexterity? You know what, never mind. Keeping the dagger. I stole that for no reason. The snail lifts his head. Flub. Inti fosta, no comprehendo. Excuse me? The snail holds up his open hand, 4 fingers stretched out. Then he twists them with a snap. There we go. That should be better. I always keep the tongue prepared for this specific situation. Nothing as awkward as dealing with foreign dignitaries when you've run out of your slots. I am Iskurum, Sword Puller of the Tolin Empire, Master of the Path, Servant of Yore, Lord Researcher, and Diplomat of Peace. He lowers his soft head all the way to the ground. Should I really trust this snail person? Maybe he's poisonous. I am Ran. Greetings. Oh no, I am the cleric. How could I? By Yore. Do not worry, Mr. Ran. Eric. I am not poisonous, nor do I hold any ill will. That's not right. He knew my name. He knew the other option. I feel like we found out our name in the first stream. I feel like we were like, what's our name? And then we just remembered. Beware. He is reading your mind. Indeed, Sho. He can read my mind. Apologies. I cannot help it. What? That's not the kind of phrasing I'd use, but yes. Nell squints and stares at you both. Hold on, is this some kind of wizard thing? Green one, you do not appear to be as loud on the strings as your iron friend here. Snail leans upon his staff. You mean my staff, I cannot help but hear everything you think, cleric. It was cleric, was it not? What a fascinating meeting we have here. Now Snail man. Around, leaning on his staff. My mind seems to have slipped a bit. You couldn't care for some exposition. Be careful what you think. He'll hear it. He hears this right now. What was the last thing you remember? His eyes retract close to the base as he mutters. Oh no. I was on a trail. Trial. Not trail. Wait. Yeah, no, trial. Good lord. Trail. A moment of simple dyslexia. Let me guess, you didn't do it. No. I was guilty. I doomed us all to the flames of Esuth. It was entirely my fault. What did you do? I made a deal with the Red One. He mutters to himself, trying to remember. It is difficult to read his body language. For obvious. However, you get the feeling as he recalls more, he grows more shaken. Esuth, the great dragon of Tuliam, our band. I was the diplomat who enacted the plan of peace. We invaded the dragon. Not invaded. What is going on with my eyes? We invited the dragon for an exchange of knowledge. Truth is, I was greedy. I wanted those strange draconic techniques. The power words. Dragons use magic through speech alone. The spells you cast are derived from those same methods. I was not alone in my hubris, nor did I set this plan in motion myself. But it was me who put it in motion. Since this snail reads my mind, why do I even bother making a choice of what to say? He's listening to this right now, isn't he? Blah, 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 blah. Think strange noises. Please stop. That's fun. Now you can annoy someone with your mind. Sorry, go on. The snail man looks pointedly around the room. Or at least you think he does. It's more of a gurgling sound. I am personally responsible for the deaths of approximately 50,000 to 100,000 of my kin. Isuth went back on his word. He used his unorthodox magic to disrupt our many, many mages. Then he burned the entire city. The towers fell. The screams. The heat. Oh, so like the thing that ruined all the... The goblin also stares at the snail man. How did you survive? Oh, the same way the rest did. We were, as they say, lucky. We were not close enough to his anti-magic, and I could resist his stunning shriek. We fled downwards. As Isuth claimed our city as his new throne, we fled even deeper. A few thousand of us, the ones who remained, we hid in... Taps his staff onto the tiles. This place. It is where we kept our foulest prisoners. It became a base in which we organized resistance. Although some were not so keen to work with someone like me. A traitor. How long were you down here? Months. It did not take long for a divide to build. What did you do here? Debate, mostly. One camp were for leaving entirely, another wanted to turn to Yor for guidance. I ended up wanting to leave with my wonderful Tut. Tut. Tut? He shakes his head. Sorry, no. The voice who won in the end. They sought a more permanent solution to the Dragonfire through primal pagan magic. I did not believe in that for a second. What? What's the Tut? He didn't answer. They imprisoned you for inviting the dragon? That, among other things. I was never the most liked snail on the coast, but they wanted an offering, not a pin blame. Grows silent. His eyes shiver. Snail begins to think about things he does not want to think about. I believe you've been imprisoned here for a very long time. How long? His eyes retract, as if he does not want to an answer to this question. When were you imprisoned? I'm assuming an era of dragons occurred after our reign. However, we ruled in the aftermath of the shutting of the gates. It has been 211 years since then, the year when our city burned. During the Fade era, then. Not very long after the gates had shut. That is exactly 1,016 years ago. He grips his staff. You hear it creak. Millennia? I was in stasis? For millennia? Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. Good gods. His eyes shoot out, aiming around the room. He is alone. His entire folk type has been wiped from the map before humans even held their own kingdoms. I am alone. There is no one, is there? He shakes his staff, and his stalk eyes wriggle around the air. A faint glow appears as he mutters a few words to himself. I see. Snails, yes, but... Crying. He is seeing hail snails currently. Are there hails? Let's just... I'm going to let him do it. Let him do this himself. We're going to stay quiet. No. Oh, no, no. Is this what you made of yourselves? He stops casting the spell, his head falling toward the ground. Urema, you fool! You led them into this? This primal state? Degenerative, frozen, monstrous beasts. Hail snails. Oh. He lets out a mad laugh. They wanted to use the primal cold to break the dragon's fire. That bastard. He led them into pure devolution. It's a nightmare. Oh, by yours grace. Tell me. How did you break the stasis I was in? Uh-oh. I may or may not have freed all of the prisoners. I think it. You cleric. Imagine it in your head. Now, please. Tut Oma. She was in an iron door. They threw her in an iron door for millennia? His eyes drooped down towards the ground. I cannot believe it. My actions caused... I ruined my people. I brought flames. I divided them. Yet, in the end, I did not even pay for my crimes with my life. Instead, I pay by standing here alone among the ashes. Ascani. And Tut. She endured the most torturous existence known to sentience, her soul slowly withering inside of that hellish prison. Yet after all of that, in the end she lets out a grunt, then a painful howl. Then he roars, a deep, bubbling scream, causing his glistening flesh to vibrate. When he stops, he takes his staff and slams it into the ground. I reject this string. Yours words do not speak of a humble nature. He broke off this world to make his own path. I will do exactly the same. The snail's going mad. Fair, really. What are you talking about? He lets out a gust of wind. I can fix this. What? Yeah, what? Fix what? My dear Tut was destroyed by an iron prison that leaves her soul in pieces. Not quite dead, not quite in existence. But I am Cord Puller Isk Urum. I wield strings like Yor himself. From this day on, I no longer seek power nor achieve greatness, nor will I build empires. I will only perform one miracle. I will resurrect her. Then I will pay her back 1,000-fold for her unyielding love and devotion. What kind of resurrection? True resurrection. Not easy, especially when the strings are this weak. True resurrection. A 9th level legendary spell capable of bringing anyone dead back to life, if you believe the legends. There are many different tales with different takes on the restrictions, but generally you cannot use it on a creature that has been dead for over 200 years. An ebb, surely. What? Can you tell me more about? Yes, anything you need. I am in your debt as well, of course. Mutters to himself and leans on his staff. This guy seems way more approachable than the sewer demon. Well, I guess the Esoteric Ebb is an ebbing of magic, so it's just the magic's not as powerful as it could be. And I guess the goal is to try and push past the ebb to increase the amount of magic? Makes sense. I now have a time limit, cleric. In 200 years, the fragments of my wife's soul will leave this plane forever. Thus, I can no longer resurrect her. And it will take time, but it can be done. Anything can be done. It is possible. Improbable, but possible. Even for a snail. Fuck yes. You need anything, just let me know. Thank you, my green friend. So, now you've been resurrected, there's one really important thing that has happened. What are you voting in the election? The what? We have our first ever election soon. You should vote. Voting? Hold on. You select your leaders through election? Hello, KG. How you doing? Yeah, we're starting to do it now, yeah. Fascinating. Is this an elective system for landowners or mages or... No, everyone gets to vote. Oh, pretty much, at least. You just need to live here. Huh? You've shocked him. I did not expect something like that. Such a liberal paradise. Well, I am not one to judge these futuristic ideas. I must investigate. Tell me more. What do you vote for? Kings? Governments? Parties with different ideologies on how to run the city of Norvik. Parties? How glib. Oh god. Very glib indeed. What does that mean? Sorry, it was a bit of an insult. Do go on. Personally, I don't vote for any party. I'm apolitical, which means I win. That is amazing! My man, the snail. He lets out a blubbering noise. Listening to all that, I would say I would actually vote for the Arcanists. Oh, he could read all the options. Seems like they would be the most esoterically attuned party, which fits my ideals. However, in my experience, a group of wizards working together tend to end up being quite the mess. My heart still leans in that direction. I'll have to go see for myself once it is time for the election. He lets out more blubbering noises. Are we going to have to explain when this guy turns up to like the voting booth and he's just a snail? The snail's laughing at democracy. Rude. At the very least, the snail has good taste. His eyes behold you, knowingly. Do you know how to enter the pillar? Oh, you wish to enter a closed gate? That is bold. I probably should not mention the rogue spellcaster, right? Wait, damn it. He's hearing this right now, isn't he? Shit. This is great. I need to follow a rogue spellcaster inside. A suspected rogue spellcaster. The snail stares at you. I heard nothing. But if you need to enter a closed gate, that is no small feat, of course. But it's possible? Very much so. What lies beyond is not so much a mystery, as it is a question of shape. Tunnels, paths, cracks in the veil around yours realm. To enter is as simple as either having a key, a blessed passing, or forcing your way with a powerful spell. Gate, astral projection, wish. They can all break through, of course. With the current state of things here in your time, it is clear all such methods would be difficult. Very difficult. You require assistance from creatures who have studied or understand its current shape. So not you? He lowers his head. Tut was a genius on planar travel. She could have helped you. Alright, Tut was your dead wife. Sorry. You have made a great friend in me, cleric. That will be rewarded. You've already taken it, of course. He glares at you. What do you mean? A staff of strings. The staff? You hold it out, feeling the power surge through the rough wood. I call it Mirvesh, the staff of strings. You may call it staff of Tulin cattle, as remembrance of my fallen people. It will be returned to me once you are finished with all of this. The crystal at the top lights up when he speaks. It is now attuned to you. If you wield it while dealing with this gate, it will grant you assistance, information, attunement, so on. My dear wife's research can be found within its core. It will help you, I am sure. Thank you. And Tut. As for who you should speak with, I have no idea. But unless you want to write a contract with some powerful devil or serve a far realm monster, you might not have too many good options. The only creature I knew beyond my people who understood the mechanics of the gate was the Gate Guardian herself, but she was ancient by the time I reached adulthood, so I would not count on her still being around. Gate Guardian? Are you talking about the Sphinx? Excuse me? What's this? The Sphinx. She's still around? Yeah. Do you know her? Snail leans back, still reeling over this information. He's got an old friend in the city then. Good for him. I'll have to visit. So, she is still in the lair? Oh, it's a tavern now called the Drunk Sphinx. This is a strange era you've built for yourselves. I can't say I dislike it. In that case, I highly recommend you go speak with Oziz. Unless you've made a fool of yourself before her, she might be inclined to help getting you into the gate crack. Flashback to when you spoke to Olzis last. Oh, yaw. I'm sure with Merivesh it will be fine. And if not, then maybe there is some other dark and oppressive magical creature you can persuade. Like that aberration called Everglad that lives in these tunnels, I assume? Huh? He looks around. I should probably leave here soon if things like that have taken hold. You have any questions, about all the stuff you've missed? A couple of thousand of them, yes. I will also, of course, dive into whatever libraries you have available for information soon enough. You do still have libraries, I hope. We have the Darrowian Library just south of here. I can get you access if I put in an application. I've seen books all over the place. You always just go around and ask to check them out. Well, let's go with the Darrowinian Library. Oh, grand, please do. Is that your local government? Darrow? No. I see. Also, I need to ask, what is this south? South? Yes. South is south. Ah. This must be some common knowledge. Please elaborate. The direction. Downwards on the map? Interesting. Do you not use inwards and outwards? With an against? The scholarly version is seaward and inland. Which one's forward in your case? With is when you move along the coast with the movement of the sun. Against is against the sun's movement. Ah, we use west for with then, and east for against. I see. Do you know the etymological origin of these words? I find your use of them quite fascinating, especially the fact my tongue spell does not localize them. Of course you do. The cardinal directions are based on some early human tongue. Way before we arrived in this world, we simply applied our old world's term on yours realm. Realistically, they have something to do with the sun, just like yours do. Interesting. That you base your directions on a map is very different from our way of navigation. Later, I will very much love to pore over your findings and documents, especially those maps. We were kidnapped by the dragons. They brought us here as slaves. I've seen books all over the place. You always just go around and ask to check them out. Interesting. So your people are very open-minded then. Imagine the snail talking to Viscon. I mean, I could see it. That pale man looks like an interesting spellcaster. We will see how they react. Is your people anti-snail? Suppose they haven't been given the chance to be anti-snail. I don't think anyone will actively hate the idea of snail folk. He nods, and his eyes jut out. Interesting. I'm looking forward to navigating your society. What do you want to ask? He lets out a burbling noise. Timeline. I can see images of your current world in your mind. Your city, called Norvik. You live upon the ruins of my people's creations, very interesting. But I'm interested in how you got there. You appear to be human, yes? I remember the dragons of the east bringing your people to the coast as servants. Or slaves, rather. When did you break your chains? It was during the Fade era. Humans broke free alongside many others as the big ones fell. Dulindim led the charge against the dragons. It was... I see. I'm both relieved and extremely happy to hear of their demise. You're welcome. But I must ask, whatever happened to Isuth? His downfall must have been at the hands of some great warrior. Oh, I know that one. It's a children's story. Oh? The Little and the Large. A gnome befriended the Mist Titan of Ascani, and together they defeated the Great Red Dragon. You're kidding. That is very good. Very, very good. An ironic end for such a horrid beast. Defeated by friendship. He lets out a burbling laugh. May his bones be cursed forever. Yeah, fuck that dragon bitch. Little folk forever. We stole magic from the dragons and taught ourselves? Hold on. Let's see. The snail retracts his eyes and goes quiet for a while as he listens to your thoughts. Do go on. The Fade era, after the Gate era, lasted for about 1,000 years. Ah, you are at the start of a new era then. What do you call it? The post-war era. Oh, the Arcane era brought with it a most foul war then. I could only imagine. Myself, I too was born in a time after war, the Gate War, but my father saw the end of it in his youth. I will make sure to read about it more, but what caused this great war? Humans, we became great wizards, arcanists, and destroyed each other, as well as almost the entire coast. The Numenists, a cabal of hedonistic far realm worshippers, pitted the great arcanists against each other. An imp, he assassinated an elvish princess and set the whole thing in motion. Let's just go with humans. Yes, I can see that. I can similarly not in any way tell you the real reason behind the Gate War. But since it's closer in the timeline, if I may ask, how did your Coast War end? Free Striders, an ideology of meritocratic and democratic heroes, eventually felled the Arcanists. Today, they are the most powerful force on the coast. The Arcanists destroyed each other and ruined a large portion of their band in the process. The Arcanists were simply too powerful, the game was rigged against them, and thus they lost. Magic stopped being as potent. They tried to keep it a secret, but eventually they simply could not support their empires. That seems quite true. Fascinating. It's understandable that there are no clear answer to such a complex conflict. As per usual, the victor will write the notes on history. However, so I will be sure to read with critical stalk. Stalk? Ah, I stalk. And your people then? They fled the Arcanists during the war? I seem to get that impression from the images I keep seeing. I hope he can't see me naked. Try your best not to imagine yourself naked. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Nothing too personal so far, thank you all. Some esoterically attuned people cannot help themselves. It's honestly quite dangerous at times. My old rival used to run into my laboratory and think very loud and grimy things. The most heinous scenarios you could imagine. What an arsehole. Aye. You're quite the frayed fellow, aren't you? What would be too personal? Like me naked, or his eye stalks glared at you in silence? Case in point. So, you're a wizard? Yes, I am a learned toolin of the path of yore. String master, string player, chord puller extraordinaire. I might have missed a few eras, but I assure you, we had reality warping powers in our times. By yore. You'll sound like an old timer. Because he is. I heard that. Sorry. No worries, it's true. Stalks retract. What level spells can you cast? 9th, by regular limits. I had the ability to wield a 10th level spell at one point, although it was of course a weak 10th level spell. I called it Isk Urum Epic Transversal. It basically targeted a road. Up to 100 miles of it, repairing any cracks, making the journey smooth and wonderful, and generally increasing your movement speed by up to double. Useful. Not more than that. Useful, yes. As you can imagine, we kept to the more grounded magics for anything above 9th. The actual world changing would simply get you popped out of existence. Excuse me? Popped out of existence? Yes, I named it Esoteric Events. They apparently began during the Gate War, but grew worse during my lifetime. Irresponsible usage of magic could easily cause them to appear. Some called it wild magic. Some called it yours curse. Oh, we still call it that. Your name's stuck. Oh, do you now? I suppose the tongue spells translated it properly then. Can you teach me your 10th level spell? No. I'm afraid those epic tier spells are not the stuff you can share. At least I do not know how. What 9th level spells can you cast? Nothing currently. When I was cast into stasis, Uremla made sure to place an ebbing seal on me. That is a curse, essentially. Makes me unable to cast anything above, in this case, 3rd level spells. So currently, I'm not so powerful at all, but do not fret it will fade in time. Hopefully, as the ley lines grow stronger all around this ebb. I'm a wizard too. Are you now? Good to hear. It does make sense. Someone with a head so attuned to the string is usually either dipped in a soul river at birth, or a powerful mage of some type. Or a crazy person. Maybe I'm all three. Wonderful! I was hoping this era of yours was acclimated for magic use well, despite the past. Are all snail folk wizards? Oh no, but many, yes. The Taolin are naturally acclimatized to string manipulation. Acclimated to string manipulation. It's from a gift we were granted by Yor. We arrived on the Great Whale's back. Can you teach me any magic? Oh, teaching, that's not my specialty. If you have any questions, I can always share my knowledge, but beyond that, I'm afraid I can only offer some spell scrolls. What does ebb mean? His eyes dart around. You want a definition? I mean, I've spoke with a demi-lich who spoke of an esoteric ebb. A demi-lich? Dangerous friends to have, cleric. Unless the world has changed by more than I imagined since I left. His eyes jitter a bit. Ebb is defined as an effect of anti-magic. Oh. It is when the flow of magic is ebbed, lowered, ceased. It is a word I do not like for many reasons. For one, it was a tool used by our enemies in the Great War to sink Yor's realm. They wished to quell his strings. Then, of course, it was the dragon Isuth. Betrayal began by the casting of a horrid and terribly effective spell, Power Word Ebb. What does it do? Power Word Ebb puts a clamp on Yor's strings. A large area, I believe up to 1,000 feet, becomes void of higher tier magics and low tier magic becomes unstable. Yet it is no simple anti-magic field. It is not an area of suppression of magic. It is the literal editing of the strings themselves. It cuts off flow to the strings, flow from the past and future, a ripple of non-magic through time. I will be honest, I have no clue what the exact parameters of casting such a spell would be, nor what the long-term effects are, but it does sound to me like your era has been affected by some terrible ebbings, for your strings seem to me as if they are indeed clamped and clutched, as if struggling to breathe. Do you think an ebb caused the weakening of the Arcanists at the end of the Coast War? That's a lot of questions. I'll say possibly, not really, and yes, through time. Wait, what? I didn't read all the options, damn it. This is, of course, only a theory of mine when it comes to esoteric effects, pockets, events, and so on. But what makes an esoteric ebb so powerful is the sheer time frame of it. The consequences can be unfelt for centuries. That is what makes yours esoteric magic so powerful, so dangerous. No sane being can calculate beyond the third dimension, not at least beyond some abstract, impractical sense. We are not made for it. But that does not stop me from researching it, or at least until Esoth did. What do you know about your strings? He holds out a hand and casts Prestigiation? When Yor crafted the coast, he did not make it from scratch. Dazzling lights spawn out of his palm, forming a collection of gleaming light. He based his design on others. The landscape, the water, the wind, the biome, as well as the magic. In most other realms, from what our history teaches us, ley lines, as in the thing we channel magic from, is usually formed as a web, a network, a weaving, a series of nodes connected. This design was fundamental and solid. It connected so many material realms to the outer ones. As in, they were not just one, the solid world of mortals on one side, the worlds with all the angels and demons and non-mortals on the other, a magic web interconnecting them. Most anti-Seplarians will tell you the same thing. The world of mortals and non-mortals were separated beyond Yor's realm. He nods. Yor did something different. He created the strings. Instead of having a series of nodes with connections between them, his ley lines were simply just nodes. They contain a sort of esoteric vector. Intensity, delta, rush, tone. Some call it colors. Various difficult to pass parameters. Instead of being interconnected, they simply bump into one another. Physically. That is how they interact, to put it on a simple metaphor. Thanks for stopping by, show. I should be ending soon myself. However, Yor did something ingenious here. He took the design of those interconnected webs and repurposed them, not to connect to one another, but to connect with themselves. Over time itself. Connected from the past through the present to the future, a straight line, a chord, a string. Remember, he is reading your mind. Every option you think of will be presented to him all at once. Oh, what difference does it make in comparison to the web design? Why did Yor make the strings in such a way? Do you think the Arcanists grew so powerful due to figuring out your secrets? Is their magic capable of flowing backwards through time? And alright, thank you, that should be every question I have about the strings. What difference does it make? Okay, that's a lot to take in all at once. This mind reading makes conversation highly efficient. And boring. I'll take your questions one by one if that's okay. Starting off, compared to the original web design, which I sadly have not been able to investigate myself, I am basing all of my findings off data retrieved from my forebears. There seems to be almost no real difference. On the surface level. Channeling magic from a practical art works fundamentally the same. drawing powers from the network using verbal, somatic, and components to steer this power in a certain direction. Somatic? The need for a physical component of a spell? It could be a hand sign, a full body movement, or something small like a wink, depending on the spell. However, this change, making the network into strings, changes how that magic flows. Instead of being focused on that one point in time, it is constantly connected to the past and present. Part of that power is leaked in each direction. Now, this does happen in some degree in a normal web-based node system as well. That's how divination magic works, but instead of it happening in a natural way, just like we remember where we were a second ago, so does magic. Just like we can extrapolate on current information in order to reach conclusions about the future, so does magic. The strings, instead, are directly connected. It would be as if we constantly saw ourselves in the past alongside our present, with glimpses of the future. Like a constant, permanent form of divination magic. Quite difficult to imagine. To answer your second question, I do not know why Yor made the strings this way. There are theories. He could have done it to perform some kind of chronomancy. Perhaps it was simply an experiment. My personal belief is simply that Yor found it efficient. By leaking esoteric energies into the past and future, it would make sense that we are able to build a much more potent acceleration in our spells. How this works in practice, none can tell, not since the gates closed. As to your third question, yes, it sounds as if your Arcanist did uncover many of the same mysteries we worked on. However, it does sound as if Yor abandoned them in a way not too dissimilar to our own. Finally, your fourth question. Chronomancy is a topic many wizards dream of as they study. I must disappoint you. There are no ways beyond divination. Those little peaks behind the curtain tamper with time. As the strings move forward, Yor watches us go along them. That is one of the messages we received from him all those years ago. He is watching. This is our one chance to make our choices. To make them well. How do I learn high-tier magic? Time and effort, cleric. I remember when we caught a batch of students about to rush out into the wild to burn some fey creatures with fireballs. They said they needed the experience. The wisdom of Yor teaches us otherwise. Repeated exercise does build muscle memory, yes. However, true experience is brought from novelty. Be interesting. Your future and high-tier magic will be born from that. No problem. I am no lecturer, so apologies if I'm ranting too much. You keep mentioning Yor. You know about the guy. About Yor? Oh, just about everything and nothing. An enigma of a wizard, Yor is. First, I'd like to ask you, what do you know about Yor? Old wizard, made the coast, brought beasts of Yor. Mythical figure, died in the Gate War of yours. The one who created this place and invited people. The great wizard who defied the gods. Nothing. I know nothing. Tell me everything you know. Mythical figure. The snailman listens to your thoughts intensely. Then he asks, beasts of Yor? Is that what you call us? We also have anti-Seplarian. That's a better word for it. I see. The recent Arcanist trouble humans caused must have not helped the issue of Yor. That is true. The term anti-Seplarian appears good. It is draconic, yes? Before the closing. Very good. Eyes close up slightly. In the old world, Cattle, we worshipped oppressive gods. Oppressive in the sense of absolute power. My forebears left willingly at the invitation of Yor to never again serve. So it is important to remember our love for Yor was not, subjugation. It was a partnership in the purest sense of the word. So to be clear, I am not a numinist. I have no religion. I do not worship Yor. My people were raised into self-idealization by Yor, given power, esoterical forces. When he fell after the Gate War and no longer was as directly involved, well, we all held some hopes he was alive, just hiding, or having gone into some other state of being, shut out the gods. Logically speaking, he has to be alive. That is my input on the discussion. Why? Because his realm still stands. You do not believe in a natural existence for his coast. I believe, although my evidence for this is faltering, the realm would collapse if Yor truly died. This place is held up by him, thus his existence is proof of his well-being. Not to mention the handful of messages we received. At least, hint at something still existing out there. Unless you believe those messages were false, which they could be. But I do not believe so. What will you do now? I will build a base, a laboratory, somewhere in this city of yours, built upon our ruins. Any tips on who I should talk to? Oh god. There's a ton, really. I'm just going to think of all of them. Oh, yes, I see. Yes, this will help a lot. Thank you, Cleric. Once I've established a foothold in this new era, I will return to my research, figure out how the strings have changed over the millennia, relearn my mastery of the chords, collect the resources needed. And then, of course, he looks upward, I will bind her fragments to this material world. I will return her to flesh, bring life into her once again. My dear, sweet Tut Irma will be given her life once more. Then, if she will have me, I will build a life for us here, a life of peace. True, fair peace. Wish me luck. Good luck. Do you have any spell scrolls I can have? No, only a dozen or so. They're deep in my shell. Are you interested in? I can dig in and get one for you. He retracts one of his arms into his shell. Ew. What about a scroll of astral projection? What about protection from evil and good? That's a classic. How about aura of vitality? I used to have that one written down. Anything else? The snailman stares at you for a few seconds. No, you seem to have thought of all I am able to hand you, except... Isk shrugs, while slowly retracting his entire head. Slowly. Soon, the snail is no more, and you are standing in front of a shell. Oh, that's convenient. Then, as slowly as he retracted, he begins to leave the shell. I went over the esoteric attunements from your mind, Cleric. It appears the only spell scroll you do not actively think about here, that you also do not already have memorized, would be this. The Scroll of Wish? Wait, hang on a frickin' minute. Isn't Wish like some insanely powerful spell? By Yor and his disciples, what are you holding in your hands? Wish? I'm sorry, what? That's not, like, the Wish, is it? That is Wish. However, you cannot memorize it at your current level of attunement. Attempting to cast it directly would also take, even at your level of talent, weeks, maybe months. Try to read the scroll's strange glyphs and fail? Wish is one of the few non-epic tier spells that can wildly shape reality. It is arguably the most powerful and versatile of all 9th level spells. It is so powerful, in fact, that it can easily cripple anyone who does manage to cast it. He is currently ebbed to only be able to cast level 3 spells, and this is a level 9th spells. I assume he already knows the actual spell, he just can't cast it. Yeah, wish is you just make a wish, right? And that wish becomes true at the whim of the GM. So the GM can twist it, right? And make it so you don't actually get your wish in exactly the way you wanted it, but like, yeah, it's very powerful. The only truly safe usage of Wish is to use its power to ask for the casting of another spell, 8th level or lower. You could also ask for a weaker effect, which have been proven to be safe at times. But if you word your wish poorly and the effect is broader than you intended, then you are, as they say, screwed. You're saying I could wish for anything? The snailman lets out a blubbering sigh. I received that spell from a djinn I fought alongside during the war. It was a reminder to stay humble, for those who use it for personal gain, use it as a shortcut to greatness, always end up in ashes. I did not always listen to such ideals, but when it comes to that spell, I have respect for it. One of my teachers, the great Rit Eos, used its power to shatter the hearts and souls of 100 ice devils. In the process, her entire being turned into a permanent esoteric pocket. I am giving this spell scroll not to use, cleric, but as a reminder of your mortality. I thank you for this. Isk makes a peculiar mouth movement. I like your fire. Burns bright. Anything else? Astral projection? You have particular tastes. That is not a spell you are even able to cast, not without great unreliability. So that's a no. Of course not. Enjoy! Oh god, I love this snail. He hands you the tingling paper with a casual nod, and the intense power rushing through your arm as you grab it. It will tear a hole into you. Grasp it with your life. Considering the state of the world, it would not have the intended effect even if you did know how to cast it, so it's useless to me anyhow. But I suggest studying it. What about protect from evil and good? It is indeed. Sadly, I do not have many divine spell scrolls, so that's a no, I'm afraid. Aura of Vitality? Oh, that's an oldie. I never was too good at it myself, but it saved my life a number of times. I'm good. That's all I got now. I guess I'll see you around, Isk. Hell yeah. Snail friend. Whoops. I can't learn this, right? Oh god. It just lowers my intelligence and constitution by 3. An ancient spell scroll of astral projection. Just holding it makes you feel like you have the power to rip a hole in reality. You obviously can't use it though, not without ripping another hole in yourself in the process. Then the Scroll of Wish. An ancient spell scroll from a different time. You cannot read the contents, like at all. Snail glyphs running along the edges cause your entire body to tingle as you touch them, however. This is the power of a wish spell. A power so strong even the paper itself becomes esoteric. Keeping it near causes your nerves to tingle. Remember that ant? Kind of feel like I should have equipped the ant when talking to the snail. But I think I've gone over a bit, so I'm going to end it here. So for the YouTube people, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. And as always, I'll see you next time.